So training on radar, and we're doing more high speeds enforcement on the roads. So we're looking at, once you're doing like the 100 to 120 and the 50 zones, those are the ones we're targeting to try to slow people down through Watson Lane and Upper the Yard.
Great.
So that's kind of where we're at right now. Kind of a quick update.
Always much appreciated. It sounds like that vacancy situation is an ongoing battle that will just probably never go away.
Yeah. So I'm hoping by next summer we should be up to 9. The one-stop agency will be back with us in end of April. So I'm hoping that by next summer we'll be rolling to having members of the detachment because no one's able to be transferring out next summer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. I mean, things can change, but I know that's the goal we're trying to get here because I don't think it's been probably more than 3 years that you guys have seen 9 police officers in this town working on shift, right? So be interesting to do this one.
Well, it's for yourselves, morale and the detachment and awareness in the community. It's always noticeable when there's not a full detachment, and that's like you just said, it's not full. So, appreciate the efforts for no returns for, repeat offenders. I think we've had that conversation lots of times. Very much appreciate that effort. Is curfews a new thing? Is that
So we're starting to see more of them now. There's been more this year than previous years. A lot of them are the higher risk offenders that we're noticing. So we're going to see more of the violent crimes, so the home invasions and assault with weapons, or possession of prohibited weapons, stuff like that. We're starting to see more curfews coming out of crowns and the courts. A lot of it is due to a breach that has taken place, and we've arrested them for a breach on the similar events. They've brought back before the judge, and the judge decided, no, we're going to release them, but we're going to put them on a curfew. So we have 2 on 24-hour curfew. They don't breach at all, which has been very nice, and it's been very pleasant to do with them. There's the other ones that are have on the 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So if they're still able to go to work, they're just not out on the streets wreaking havoc. So we have seen that drop off the files with them when they see them on the curfew, which has been very nice for the community.
Great. Yeah, I don't think I've just haven't heard the curfew word used for a while. I know that it's been a thing. I just haven't heard it. So thanks for that. I appreciate the efforts in the drug trading or whatever you want, drug enforcement, because that is something that we've heard lots of. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll continue doing that. We know that there's other drug dealers in the community. Of course, we're going to change our focus on whichever drug dealer is going to be more of the public safety aspect at that time. Especially when you see the violent crimes associated to it, we'll put our efforts on doing that first, and then we can deal with the small level of dealers after that. So we do have 3 other investigations taking place right now that are going. So it's not just we dealt with him, we're going to take a seat back. We're going to keep moving forward here. So
it's great. It's great. Councilor,
I don't know, second what Mayor said. I appreciate your work on all of that. It sounds like you guys have been really busy. So yeah.
Oh, thank you, although for sure, drugs has definitely been a concern, so thank you for focusing on that.
I guess the only other comment I'd have is if there's anything council can do to support your efforts in drug awareness or drug information or support on the grad hunt, or if there's something that we can do to help, please don't hesitate to ask. You know where we are.
yeah, absolutely. There will be some big asks.
Yeah.
New boats, sweet. Volunteers, new boats, nothing.
The CEO of the company and another one.
Yeah. I mean, they put that request in last year. I don't know what happened last year.
Yeah. That sounds like a good time. I know it was well received last year, so I'd like to try and attend as well. If I'm not even, if just being there, I think it's fun.
And it's been very supported by all and the Yukon First Nation School Board. So it's been a big program that's been pushed forward and we'll continuing. So it's nice. And we talked to the fire chief already, and he's looking at possibly coming out as well, which would be a good way to introduce them to the community and get some kids introduced to the fire department as well, because they're a first responder.
It's great. Great. Keep up the good work.
Keep trying.
It's enough of a battle. I know. I think that's about it.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Okay. Next on our agenda, we have the admin report public auction bid award for 1 for Ward Pleasant Crescent. Kind of going here. Okay. Purpose to provide council with the bid outcomes for public auction for 144 Tesman Crescent, Watson Lake. The financial implications for 144 Tesman Crescent was seized through the tax lien process and put for public auction for a minimum reserve bid of 16,900, which covered the outstanding property tax balance and tax lien costs. At the council meeting held on June 4th, 2024, council directed administration to place the 144 Tesman Crescent up for public auction with a minimum reserve bid and a condition to develop the property as per the town's policy. The public auction was opened for 3 weeks, and upon closing, 2 sealed bids were received. The bids received were as follows. Ray Lukinen bid amount of $16,900 and 1 year timeline to develop. Stalwart Construction Limited bid of $18,500 and a 3-year timeline to develop.
I make a motion to accept Kevin Gibson / Stalwart Constructors Limited bid of 18.5, reason being it being a higher bid amount. And knowing that he's quite adjacent, or his lot is adjacent to the existing lot, we know that he's gonna do it right.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Questions, comments? Okay. So to accept Stalwart Construction Limited's bid of $18,500, even though it's a 3-year timeline to develop versus 1.
We get the land taxes on it anyway,
Empty until it's built, right?
even
You
given
would think
the
minimal
nature of
taxes
a
off.
lot of those lots in that area.
You would think minimal, land tax off of the mobile home as well.
Okay, all in favor? Carried.
You already did that.
I know.
I like that.
And also sometimes it costs. Okay, number 6. Admin report for general maintenance bylaw. To provide council with an update on the progress of the general maintenance bylaw. Council stated the process of reviewing the general maintenance bylaw in September started. The process of reviewing the general maintenance bylaw on September 19th, 2023. And discussed the proposed changes in public forum at the town hall meeting held on November 21st, 2023, and again at the town hall meeting on May 15th, 2024. This bylaw has had first reading. Prior to second reading, administration sent the draft bylaw for legal opinion and consulted the Public Works Department about some of the areas that affect their department. Additional community input has also been received. For council's consideration below is a summary. The legal review, there are no major concerns with the draft bylaw. Most of the proposed amendments are broadening definitions, removing unnecessary definitions, and changing language to make clear. Legal counsel is still investigating whether or not the town can legally transfer unpaid fines onto property tax accounts and collect through the property tax lien process. Amendments based on legal input have not yet been made to the attached draft bylaw. However, these changes will be done prior to second reading of the bylaw. Ooh, it's a lot from Public Works. Ready? Want me to read all this?
I mean, I read it.
I've read it.
You could just,
Skip the Public Works input. What do you want?
I guess I'm just wondering what we're doing with this today.
Because it had to be brought back to be put on the agenda for the next reading. So hence the reason it had to be brought back before you tonight, so it could be slated for a council meeting. Because it had been stood down with no return date.
Okay, so this is just
This-
FYI right now,
This is just FYI.
and then we'll discuss it next
Committee of the whole is the recommendation
in August.
in August, yeah,
And then we'll do reading.
on the
Okay.
second meeting.
Okay,
And
then yeah, I don't think you need to read all that right now because I think.
They will come forward.
Yeah.
so what Public Works is asking though, that this be placed within the maintenance bylaw.
All this number.
You know,
We're just asking you to consider it,
Yeah.
put it into consideration.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's just, all you need to worry about tonight, your worship, is setting a date for it to be brought back.
Okay. Okay. So. Being,
I don't know, I have. There's a few things in here, it's just like. In particular, the one that really has me,
so yeah, if we just like keep your eyes on this, Thomas, and if we, so it's coming back, so we.
This is just to make a motion to set it for the council date, it's not for discussion.
When we do that motion, will like the town be able to at least see these proposed? Like,
Yeah, once, yeah.
yeah, that's what I mean, just proposed changes for people around town to see them and,
Community,
yeah.
So our next meetings will be August
August sixth, I believe, we should,
is the next committee of the whole.
yes, August sixth.
And then, so that would be a good chance for us to discuss these changes, whether or not we want. them. Okay, so if everybody's all right, we'll put it on the August 6th meeting, committee of the whole. For discussion.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. But yeah, there's new information, put consideration, further discuss the bylaw sections that have been hot topics. So the bylaws can be amended if necessary prior to being introduced for second. So there will be a good chance that the committee of the whole will be a good chance for us to discuss these snow removal topics because they are,
That's the hardest one.
they're not easy ones.
they're hard ones for sure, it's the hot topic.
Okay. Perfect. Everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Thank you. So next on the agenda, we have first reading of business license bylaw 06-01. And this will be first reading, so it just opens up for discussion. I believe it's an older one that we need to address some of those issues, right?
Are we, sorry, so that was my next question on why this is being brought forward now.
Administrations, it's an old bylaw, your worship, but there's been lots of issues where there's no consistency on the business license bylaw. So we need to straighten that out so we can be fair across the board. And examples of which will be in your admin report coming off for the next meeting, but rental properties, those type of things, and business licenses for hawkers, peddlers, those type of things. There's no consistency across the board. And same thing with businesses that have multiple phases of operations going on. There's right now, every time you, let's say, if you want to start doing a fireworks business on the side, firework business, then you need a license for that, and it covers the home businesses. So there's all kinds of little things that our office is inundated with where there's no clarity on it.
Okay. Thank you. I'll make a motion for first reading of the business license bylaw.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councilor Ashwell. Thank you, Councilor Paquette. Any more questions?
No, not questions, but 2.03, there's a typo there. There's another typo somewhere else, I saw.
got into care.
The care,
Care.
and there was another one somewhere else.
Yeah, this is just for first reading and all that stuff will be sorted out.
Oh, okay.
As we go through.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
So you said for August 6th, your worship?
Yep. Committee of the whole discussion. We'll have those. Hopefully, you can provide us with some of those changes that you're hoping to smooth
Yeah,
over.
and it'll all be contained in the admin report, your worship.
Great. New and unfinished business, we don't have any.
There is nothing, your worship.
So, Councilor open forum.
I have a couple things.
Yeah, please, Councilor.
I was just cruising about town and noticed that the welcome to Watson Lake signs are really tired looking. The plants in there it's like not the appropriate number of plants and maybe poor selection of plants in there. You really have to look for them, and I really just don't think that those signs are having the impact that we maybe want them to have, and I don't think they're of a quality that I think tourists and maybe locals would appreciate. And I just would like, I have a creative solution, which I'm not gonna share with you right now, but I would like the opportunity to speak with you guys about it before I present it here, just because maybe it's crazy. But I would like to know when we can discuss this. And then also, I would like to see us allocate some funds in the budget coming up to have those Welcome to Watson Lake signs repainted. I don't think the signs themselves are in too bad of shape, but they do look really tired. And I think that we could easily find somebody local to touch up the paint. And while we're at it, the municipal service or the sign up front of this building, in fact, unfortunately, I think it's brand new, but it's
Fall apart.
well, the
Yeah, that's
paint's
it.
all faded, so I don't know what. But I would really like to see those refreshed. From the plants to the paint to the flags. I think that our community needs that.
If I could suggest, maybe we'll just ask the committee to look into all signage. This was probably
Sure.
those specifically, right?
Yeah, those specifically, yeah.
But for a signage update, because we do that annually, but that might need a little more attention.
I just think, we're supposed to be the gateway to the Yukon and I can't remember if there's one out on the Robert, just those, the ones on the Alaska Highway specifically, really need it. And then Cam touched on this earlier, but I want to give a quick shout out to Patrick for the town crier. I think he did a really nice job on it, and yeah, it's really awesome. And then I guess I was wondering, is that gonna be quarterly, or is that just a test run, or what are we doing with it?
Council didn't make a decision in that regard. We just asked that we kind of revisit the idea, so.
No, Patrick put an extreme amount of work into it. So I don't have a problem, maybe over the summer, we do it a monthly thing. And then we reevaluate, come fall, because, things are gonna slow down.
Yeah, okay, but I thought it was
quite
a
impressive.
really good job.
That's good.
It's exciting to look at.
There's been remarkable. It's good.
Yeah, that's all for me.
I'm gonna just echo Councillor Hanchard's comments on that town crier, because I do think we should discuss some sort of consistency with it, because we don't, monthly was hard. Quarterly would be tough, biannually might be easy, I don't know, but I think to have some follow-up, some consistency is very professional, it was well received, and there's a lot of information on there, I think people appreciate it, so. We'll just throw that at admin, and if they kind of discuss and come back to us with some options, that'd be great.
I think quarterly would be best, because if you do it biannually, whatever news you're tripping about is old,
Yeah.
ancient news by then.
Well, and this time of the year, things are changing so fast, like Patrick had a draft, and then I was tied up in another meeting, so by the time I got to the draft, dates had already changed, and we had to change articles because things have changed and the deadlines have passed, so we had to update it again, so it's a learning curve, and now I think now that he's got the format, it'll be good, and I guess as long as council approves me having him as the assistant in the budget, we can make it work, so.
I think one benefit to doing it more frequently is that it won't be as long as well. And so it'll just be, you can have maybe 1-2 pager, and then rather than, we hadn't had it in so long, we had so many things, we wanted people to know that the one that we just put out was quite a few pages, so, yeah.
Good, so.
Shoot for every 3 months.
Well, that's good, man, and then just go over it, and maybe that's a budgetary thing too, and that's exactly like you said, like. If we want Patrick to be full-time, then that's a budgetary thing. I don't think it's so much the printing of the town crier that's the issue, it's the work that goes into it, so.
And yeah, your worship, but I think truthfully over this, for the next couple of months, I would like to keep it for the months, because there's so much going on in town right now, that I think we need to keep people updated, but once we hit fall, the projects will be ending and all that stuff, so things will slow down. And then it'd be more manageable because it'll just be what's going on at rec, you know, that type of thing.
Well, we'll ask you what your decision is on that next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay,
Flag, were we just gonna put country flags up or were we putting all flags up? Cause we have kind of all flags up as opposed to just country flags.
That was the motion that was made by council last year and there's been a reach to that motion. So all flags are up. Yeah.
All flags are up, okay.
yeah,
I just don't remember that.
2 years ago, yeah, maybe even 3 years ago.
Oh, that's, yeah, when, John DeGrease was on council, so, yeah. But there's been no other direction from council, so
Okay.
if the council wants to reassess it, then it would come back as a discussion item.
Did you know that was one of the comments from the gallery the one time about flags and what we were looking at, so I couldn't remember if we had made a decision or not. Okay, thank you.
Anything for Council?
No.
Okay. Housing Accelerator Fund, any other updates or do we got, what's happening?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
I thought we'd give Jordan a break from being here at the council meeting. So lots of taking place. The Housing Accelerator Fund is open. Right now, it's on our website, right, with a link. There was a mailer went out in the mailboxes on Thursday as well. So it's open. It's gonna go live on Facebook tonight. There was a glitch. It was gonna go out this morning. But we ran into a glitch. So it's going out tonight. Same thing, hyperlink. Jordan and Graham will be down next week, 22nd or 24th, I believe. Well, actually, they've got a few names of people that are interested and with that flyer and stuff, they can actually they'll sit down and help them with their applications, get them done. Closing for that first draw is August 16th. And then we'll do the draw based on the number of applicants. If we have more than 10, then it's a lottery. And if we have less than 10, then it would just be based on applications.
As a what date?
August 16th. And so that's all there on both of those. They're working, the other day, updates are working on the website. You'll be able to see both the other housing accelerator initiatives as well as they're working on their updated there as well. Okay. We've given them access to the website for those things and Facebook. So, and then we have to have an email account for the housing accelerator fund. So it's housing@watson.ca. So if you know of anybody that's interested, actually Patrick helped them do up the QR code, so you can actually scan the QR code and it actually does the hyperlink. So it's really nice. That's the joys of having Patrick around who's got the tech savvy side of it, where us old guys are struggling. So anyway, so that part's moving ahead as well. Great. And if you want, I can give you an update on Francis Avenue as well. Sure, that'd be great. Francis Avenue, Cebu is slated to be done, all of their work on Francis Avenue by the end of this month. The whole back now is ATCO for installing the power. And they don't have a firm date, but there is sometime this fall to put the power into the site. So I've got meetings coming up with Lance Branch to talk about the water pricing and surveying. Must be done. Surveying. It's exciting. They're just chlorinating the water line right now. Okay.
So we'll have some idea when those will go for sale in the fall, like a timeline for
I'm
sale.
hoping before your next meeting, I'll at least have a timeline to give you. So, but yeah, they're way ahead of schedule. So,
And the lift station,
the station's on schedule for their, so, yeah, then truthfully, if they started selling lots and people started building now, it'd be more effective the station because they're not gonna get into a sewer for,
yeah. The next one, that's great.
yeah,
Great. Unless you're buying a modular home, which is in 90 days.
90 days. So,
We hope them. Okay. Anything else for council open forum?
No, thank you. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn. Unless there's something else. No, we can. Okay. We'll say that.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
You can take over.
I just wanted